The woman who was once deeply attracted to you begins to distance herself as soon as you begin to compliment her and provide constant validation. It feels confusing, right? Well, the harsh reality is that the more you validate her, the faster you lose her. In today's video, we're going into the risky cycle of validation-seeking behavior that many men fall into without even realizing it. It's one of the fastest ways to kill attraction, and I'm here to show you why. We'll break down the psychology behind it and introduce you to some Stoic principles that can help you regain your power and stay grounded instead of crumbling in your pursuit of her approval. You're at the right place if you've ever questioned why she abruptly lost interest, why things cooled off after you showed her more affection, or why she began to distance herself in spite of everything you did. Stay tuned, and let's begin uncovering the hidden trap of affirmation that can subtly undermine your relationships. First, the unspoken risks of the unspoken risks. Associated with compliments movies indoctrinate us into believing that complimenting a woman's appearance or using kind language is the best approach to win her over. Social media and even our friends reinforce this belief, but here's where the twist lies. Those well-meaning remarks may be the reason she's moving away. This is because when you give her too many compliments, you're not only praising her beauty, you're also trying to win her approval, which is a Stoic principle that works perfectly in this situation. I need your positive response to feel favorable about myself. When compliments are overused, they lose their impact and become meaningless statements instead of genuine declarations of respect. Worse, they start to appear as a desperate attempt to win her approval. In the realm of Stoicism, actions always have more weight than words. There is also a psychological element at play here. When you continuously compliment a woman, you're creating a power dynamic where she feels above you, she becomes the prize, and you become the one trying to win her approval. This can feel beneficial for her ego temporarily, but over time it diminishes her respect for you because she begins to see you as someone who needs to prove his worth rather than as someone who already knows his value. It feels like you're putting her on a pedestal, making her the judge of your worth, and subtly signaling that you're trying too hard and that you need her reaction to feel secure. By speaking less and displaying more, you come across as a grounded man who doesn't need to fill the void with meaningless words. This is why the Stoic approach is so effective in this situation. Rather than trying to win her over, let your presence and actions speak for you. This type of uncommon, quiet confidence draws women to you. Picture yourself at a party where she is receiving a lot of attention from men who are swarming around to compliment her in an attempt to gain her favor. You, on the other hand, are calm. You don't need to be the loudest person in the room or the one complimenting her the most. You just keep eye contact, smile genuinely, and remain composed. Your quiet confidence sets you apart from the other men competing for her approval. She will remember you enjoying the moment and being confident in yourself. It's not about never complimenting her or withholding praise as a tactic. It's about being genuine. When you do give her a compliment, make sure it's genuine and not tied to seeking a reaction. Tell her you mean it, not because you need her to react a certain way. There's a big difference between saying you look amazing and expecting her to light up with admiration. This is the man who wasn't desperate for her validation, the man who didn't need to prove himself through flattery. Now, take a moment to consider what we just discussed. How many times have you caught yourself giving compliments not just because you felt it, but because you wanted a specific reaction from her? Be honest with yourself. It's simple to fall into this habit without even realizing it, but this small change in behavior could be the key to changing how she perceives you. I encourage you to pause here and reflect on your own experiences. You should express gratitude instead of just expressing your feelings spontaneously. When you embody this mindset, You stop being the man who looks for validation and start being the man she will find herself drawn to repeatedly. This is a time for self-awareness and the beginning of true growth. So consider whether you are complimenting her really or in an attempt to get her acceptance. Number 2. Contact, sending out contact signals. Signals seeking approval, requesting approval. Good morning, lovely, or what? How are you finding the day? These messages appear kind and considerate at first, as if you're just letting her know you care. But let's look closer because, whether you realize it or not, there's a hidden agenda at play here. These texts frequently have a subtly strong undertone of seeking approval. They aim to discover a solution rather than just wishing her a pleasant day. Confidence. Whether you realize it or not, sending these texts puts you in a vulnerable emotional state. You wait for her to respond, and when it takes a while, you begin to wonder if you said something incorrectly or if she is losing interest. I need to know that you still like me. This conduct lacks confidence at its core. It stems from insecurity, and believe me, she senses it. Epictetus commented that how you respond to these messages matters more than what happens to you. Check-in texts. You're attempting to exert control over something that's beyond your control. You cannot control her feelings, her response, or her level of interest. What you can control, though, are your own thoughts and behavior. Rather than frantically checking to see if she still likes you, concentrate on what you can control, your own self-respect and your own emotional equilibrium. Give up expecting her to confirm your existence by text message. She will try to break your silence if she is genuinely interested. Your capacity for restraint and your readiness to allow her to proceed will be quite evident. Imagine this. You encounter a woman who captivates you. The chemistry is exceptional and you exchange contact information. The next morning you can't help but text her, "Good morning, hope you have a great day." You wait for hours, wondering if you did something wrong, and you send another message later in the day. "Hey, just checking in. How's your day going?" This may seem innocuous, but in her mind it raises a red flag because she perceives you as seeking her attention and validation, and it begins to feel like pressure because she already holds you accountable for your emotional state. Instead of feeling drawn to you, she begins to withdraw. Stoic philosophy views patience as a form of power. Men who give women the space to step forward naturally draw them in. When you give her space to miss you, think about you, and wonder why you aren't chasing her, you create an opportunity for her to pursue you. This means having the confidence to let go of the need to constantly initiate contact. When you don't check in, it shows you're already living your life and not waiting for her response, which is attractive. Marcus Aurelius once said, "The closer a man gets to a calm mind, the closer he is to strength." By choosing to refrain from sending that nervous check-in text, you're exercising patience and staying grounded and calm instead of allowing your emotions to control your behavior. She perceives this calmness as a powerful demonstration of your stability, self-assurance, and resistance to insecurity. This type of man stands out because his number 3 is the illusion of certainty, which is an uncommon occurrence. You like her, you want her to know that, and you think that by being open about your feelings, you're building trust and honesty. But here's the twist. When you tell her too early how much you like her or start talking about a future together, you're creating an illusion of certainty. You're effectively providing her with all the answers before she poses any questions, and as soon as she gains confidence in her relationship with you, an unexpected event occurs. Her attraction begins to diminish. There's a psychological element at play here. When you make your intentions clear too early, you remove the element of mystery and excitement. You take away her need to wonder, to be curious, and to invest emotionally. It's like revealing the ending of a movie in the first 10 minutes. There's no suspense left, nothing to look forward to. Attraction thrives in the unknown, in the space where she isn't entirely sure how you feel, where she has to put in some effort to find out. Here's a key Stoic principle that fits perfectly here. The Stoics advised us to live in the present and not cling to particular results or expectations. Therefore, we should only expect everything. The Stoic approach is to remain rooted in the present and appreciate the experience without hurrying to define or name it. When you reveal your hand too soon, you're essentially trying to lock in a certain outcome to force certainty where there should be some unpredictability. This way of thinking inherently fosters a feeling of mystery, which keeps her interested and motivated to find out more. The truth is that while certainty can be consoling, it can also be dull. Comfort isn't the foundation of attraction, rather it's excitement and the anticipation of what might happen next. When you reveal your feelings too soon, you take away the element of anticipation and tell her that you've already won her over, which eliminates any possibility that she will miss you or experience the thrill. Consider this. You don't want to learn the trick's execution immediately when you attend a magician's show. The excitement lies in the mystery and the illusion. Once the secret is revealed, the intrigue is gone. The same is true when dating. It's the uncertainty of the unknown that keeps her interested and engaged. Imagine you're out with her and the night is going great. Please enjoy the moment and let her wonder about your feelings without discussing the future. If you reveal all your cards too soon, you ruin the enchantment. Don't rush to give her a definitive response. Instead, let her think about you when you're not there, and let her ask what we are. Grin and say, "I'm having fun getting to know you, and I'm looking forward to where this goes." Let's not name it just yet. This reaction maintains the mystery and demonstrates your confidence and lack of haste. Keep in mind that a man who divulges too much information loses his influence. The next time you feel the need to express your emotions or discuss the future, take a step back and be the man who leaves a little space for mystery, who allows her to wonder, and who recognizes that true strength lies in patience and presence rather than in controlling the future. The man who stays grounded in the present and doesn't rush to define or control the future is the one who stays intriguing, the one she can't stop thinking about. Commitment. If you're prepared to adopt this attitude and maintain interest, leave a remark below with your choice of patience and presence. This should serve as a testament to your commitment to mastering the art of attraction through the application of the fourth Stoic principle. Your greatest asset is your time. Your time is your most valuable asset and won't be replaced. However, many guys give it away too readily, especially when they're attempting to impress or win over a woman. They reorganize their schedules, cancel their plans, and devote every available moment to her in the belief that more time together equates to a stronger bond. However, the harsh reality is that spending too much time with her in the beginning diminishes attraction because it's an obvious indication of validation seeking. By your actions, you're effectively informing her that her needs come before your objectives. Goals and personal development. The Stoics were very clear that time is the most valuable resource. As Seneca famously stated in his writings, we often watch our most valuable resource, time, slip through our fingers without thinking twice. When you invest too much time in someone, especially at a young age, you're making a silent statement. I have nothing more important to do than to be there for you. This is a grave mistake, as it communicates a sense of neediness rather than confidence or value, and it suggests to her that you are willing to sacrifice your own aspirations and life objectives for her. Imagine two different men who have recently started dating a woman. The first man is always available, cancels plans with his friends, skips the gym, and is always willing to drop everything to spend time with her. Now imagine the Stoic man who is interested in her but also focused on his own life. He has goals, projects, and ambitions that he actively pursues. He makes time for her, but doesn't sacrifice his own plans to do so. When she requests a meeting, he respectfully declines, suggests a different time, and instead invites her to join him whenever it suits him. She observes this and perceives that he leads a rich and fulfilling life even without her, and his respect for his own time piques her interest. By valuing your time, you're demonstrating to her your respect for yourself, your goals, and your future. This, in turn, increases her respect for you, as she perceives your resistance to influence and your lack of need for her attention. Women desire a man who possesses his own passions, goals, and life. They desire to join you in a universe that is already vibrant and full of life, not to be the center of your universe. The Stoics encourage us to value our time just as much as we would a priceless item. Seneca once said, "It is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste a lot of it." Take a moment to consider how frequently we waste time attempting to win someone over by rearranging our schedules to be available for them, rather than appreciating our own time. This is the exact opposite of what a Stoic would do. When you live by this principle, you become the man she wants to chase, the man who isn't easily won over, and the man who knows that his time is the true measure of his worth. Number 5. Because a wise man values his time above all else. He doesn't give it away in the hopes of winning approval or making small sacrifices, because he knows that it is valuable and irreplaceable, and by doing so, he teaches others how to value it too. Your nonverbal communication indicates a betrayal without words, exposes a betrayal without words. Although you may believe that your words or clever texts leave the biggest impression, your body language frequently conveys all the information she needs to know. For example, when you lean in too much, make excessive eye contact, or have that excited sparkle in your eye whenever you see her, you're sending a clear subconscious message. Even though you may be saying all the right things, your body language may be conveying neediness and desperation. "I need you to like me" is a nonverbal plea for approval and reveals your underlying insecurities. This is where adopting a Stoic mindset can be revolutionary. Every Stoic man lives by the principle of insight, composure, and unfazedness in the face of external pressure or uncertainty. He doesn't fidget nervously, lean in desperately, or feel the need to lock eyes with a look of yearning. Instead, his body language reflects his inner confidence and self-assurance. She can sense that calm energy instantly, and it's what distinguishes him from the man who is making an excessive effort to gain her approval. Women are extremely perceptive when it comes to body language. They can sense neediness and desperation long before you even realize you're giving it off when you lean in too much or make too much eye contact. This gives her the impression that you're already convinced she's the prize and that you're trying to prove yourself. But true attraction comes from a place of calm self-assurance. Confident body language is like a quiet form of communication that says, "I'm comfortable with myself. I'm not here to seek your approval. I'm here to share a moment with you." It's the difference between being a chaser and being a magnet. When your body language reflects strength, she senses it instinctively. She is more intrigued and curious because she isn't readily convinced by her words or appearance. According to Marcus Aurelius, the rock continues to be surrounded by the raging sea as the waves continue to crash over it. This Stoic visual brilliantly encapsulates the spirit of confident body language. You remain planted rather than fidget, lean in, or stare longingly. Being self-assured enough to not seek validation from your actions is the essence of being resilient in the face of uncertainty. The next time you're on a date or in a social situation, remember that your body language is an honest reflection of your inner state, and if you're calm, composed, and confident on the inside, it will show on the outside. Strong, assured body language effectively conveys a man's groundedness in his own value to women. You should pay more attention to your body language than your words. Are you leaning in too much, looking for her reaction with your eyes? Or are you calm, confident, and allowing your body language to convey that you're a man who knows his value and doesn't need to pursue him? When you master the art of composed presence, you become the type of man who stands out without saying a word, and that's the kind of man she'll find. Now, let's put this into practice. If you're prepared to adopt a confident, calm mindset and let your body language speak for itself, type an affirmation right here. I remain steadfast and anchored in the comments. By doing this, you're not only promising yourself, but also announcing to the world that you're adopting a new degree of confidence. Keep in mind that the strength you project silently is more powerful than the words you use. Watch as the rock begins to lean in toward you. Number 6. During a storm. Long's pitfall. Having lengthy chats can be a trap. Let's discuss one of the most frequent errors men make when they first start dating. Having lengthy, in-depth conversations right away. It feels good at the time. You're opening up and sharing stories and delving into private subjects, and you believe you're developing a solid bond. But here's the catch. Here's where a crucial Stoic principle enters the picture. Silence is a sign of strength. As Marcus Aurelius sagely observed, silence doesn't mean ignoring her or refusing to engage. Rather, it means knowing when to hold back and when to leave things unsaid. When you spend hours on the phone or have marathon text conversations, you're giving away your mystery. These lengthy, in-depth conversations frequently have the opposite effect of what you intended. Instead of creating attraction, they signal that you're overly invested too soon. You've satiated her curiosity too quickly by disclosing everything about yourself up front, leaving no room for curiosity or anticipation. You've also taken away the challenge and some of the excitement. Think of attraction as reading a wonderful novel. If you know the entire plot in the first chapter, why continue reading the best stories? They reveal themselves gradually, enticing you bit by bit. Likewise, in relationships, by disclosing everything up front, you've given her the complete tale without any tension. The Stoics hold that words are frequently less effective than silence. Marcus Aurelius asserted that life's numerous hardships teach us the importance of silence. This does not mean you should be quiet and distant, but that you should hold back and let your deeds speak louder than your words when you feel comfortable being silent. It conveys an extremely appealing level of confidence and indicates that you don't need to talk non-stop to prove your value. Rather, you're comfortable enough to let the conversation flow and leave her feeling somewhat intrigued. For instance, during a pause in conversation during a date, a nervous man may attempt to fill it with words to avoid an awkward situation, while a stoic man may choose to remain silent. He embraces it, maintains eye contact, smiles, and simply savors the silence because he is at ease with himself. This type of calm confidence is uncommon and helps her feel more at ease. Additional. In the early stages of dating, you want to be curious and more attracted. Your goal isn't to tell her everything about yourself. Rather, it's to create intrigue, spark her interest, and leave her wanting more. In-depth conversations have their place, but they work best when they happen naturally over time as trust and connection build. Rushing into these lengthy conversations too soon gives the impression that you're trying too successfully to force intimacy. Keep in mind that the man who talks too much is trying to prove something, and the man who talks less knows he has nothing to prove and that's the man she'll be thinking about long after the conversation is over. Number 7. When gratitude turns into weakness. We've all been taught that gratitude is a sign of good character, but over-gratitude borders on neediness. When you thank someone too much or too frequently, it doesn't come off as respectful, rather it comes off as insecure, telling her that you feel unworthy of her time and attention, and that you're surprised she's even interested. The moment she realizes this, the power dynamic changes, and her respect for you declines in Stoicism. One important lesson is to balance self-worth and thankfulness. Expect respect, but don't demand it. The difference between being entitled and being overly grateful is that a Stoic man knows the value of appreciation, but also carries himself with a quiet confidence that doesn't require constant acknowledgement or validation. Knowing his worth, he doesn't gush over every small gesture, instead acknowledging it with a simple nod, smile, or a calm, sincere thank you before moving on. It's about acknowledging that you deserve decent treatment without seeming shocked each time you get it, not about being ungrateful or contemptuous. A man who is Stoic carries himself with the attitude that I deserve respect and kindness. I don't need to swoon over it. Psychologically, women gravitate towards men who possess a strong sense of self-worth. When you overthink her or make a big deal out of small gestures, you're sending the message that you don't see yourself as equal. This creates an imbalance where she feels like the prize and you're the one trying to win her favor. Dynamic is not attractive, it's needy. Women want to feel valued, but they also want to be with a man who values himself equally. For example, if a woman offers to pay for coffee, the overly appreciative guy might say, "Oh, wow, thank you so much. You really didn't have to do that. I appreciate it so much." He's sincere, but it feels excessive, almost as though he's surprised by her generosity. The Stoic man, on the other hand, smiles and accepts her gesture, saying, "Thanks, I'll get it next time." He doesn't make a big deal out of it, indicating that he appreciates it, but doesn't think it's particularly noteworthy. Although this slight variation in reaction indicates a significant shift in thought, overusing it can backfire and make you appear weak. The Stoic method emphasizes expressing gratitude without overdoing it and expecting favorable treatment without taking it personally. Therefore, the next time you feel the need to express your gratitude to her excessively, consider whether you are doing it out of true gratitude or out of a desire for her approval. Keep it straightforward, maintain your confidence, and allow your silent expression of thankfulness to speak for itself. Become the kind of man who doesn't need to prove himself because he already knows how valuable he is, and she will want to be around and admire such a man. Now is the time for some introspection. It is worthwhile to look at your relationships to see if you tend to be overly grateful or if you retain a quiet, self-assured appreciation. Put your response in the comments section or simply write, "I choose gratitude without neediness." This demonstrates self-assurance and a balanced outlook, indicating that you appreciate yourself enough to express sincere gratitude without asking for anything in return. I love you. Too soon. The eighth validation is, I love you too soon. Let's talk about one of the most frequent, yet disastrous mistakes men make in relationships. Saying, "I love you too soon seems like the ultimate romantic gesture, the grand declaration that should cement the bond between you and her. However, the paradox is that when you show love too soon, it doesn't strengthen the bond. Rather, it often does the opposite, signaling neediness, desperation, and a lack of emotional control. Instead of making her more attracted to you, it puts her on edge, making her doubt the sincerity of your feelings. Because premature love is more about reassurance for yourself than her. The Stoics offer a timeless perspective on this matter. When you say, "I love you" too soon or too frequently, it becomes a form of validation seeking. You're not just expressing affection, you're looking for her to reciprocate in kind, to validate your worth and ease your fears. Seneca, one of the foremost Stoic philosophers, talked about love that is based on genuine affection, but free from excessive neediness or dependency. Instead of continuously expressing your sentiments, a Stoic approach to love focuses more on deeds than words. You demonstrate your love by being there, showing respect, and being consistent. Although a Stoic guy does love, he does not make it the center of the relationship or use it as a crutch or a means of securing her adoration. He understands that love, akin to respect, necessitates earnestness and gradual nurturing, a reality that many men encounter. Miss Women listens to his words. When you say, "I love you" too soon, it feels like you're trying to take a shortcut, like you're trying to get to the part of the relationship where things are safe and comfortable. But true love isn't about hurrying. It's about creating something meaningful step by step. They've discovered that without genuine, consistent action, words and declarations of love can become hollow and empty. By being there for her when she needs support, listening to her without interjecting, and respecting her space and choices, you can demonstrate your love for her stoically rather than by saying, "I love you" all the time. This type of love, which is based on respect and calm confidence, is far more potent than any spoken declaration, since it is visible in everything you do and doesn't require continual confirmation. Epicurus once stated, "First, define your ideal self, then take the necessary actions." In the context of love, this implies choosing to be a loving, supportive partner and then demonstrating this through your actions. Anyone can say, "I love you," but true love is demonstrated by living it, embodying it through your actions every day. Let's say you've been in a relationship for a few months and you're starting to feel like you truly love her. The intensity of his feelings may drive the typical man to blurt it out during a romantic moment, but the Stoic man uses his moment carefully. He doesn't say it during a casual date or as a response to her saying it first. He waits until his actions have already demonstrated his love. When he finally says the words, it's not out of a need for validation, but out of a genuine desire to express what his behavior has already demonstrated. Months of consistent care and respect have backed it, making it feel real. Remember, a man who declares his love too soon is seeking validation. When you take this Stoic attitude, you not only strengthen your bond with her, but also demonstrate to her that your love is genuine, grounded and need-free. That's the type of love she can genuinely trust. A guy who demonstrates his love via his deeds is already safe in it. Add adapting to number 9, separation, changing. One of the keys to attraction is detachment. While it's simple to succumb to the validation-seeking game, developing a lasting attraction requires a different approach and a detached mindset. Let's face it, the dating world is full of conflicting signals, unspoken expectations, and the constant need to win someone's approval. When you adopt this mindset, you become a magnet for attraction rather than a chaser. Detachment means letting go of the need to control how she feels about you and focusing on your own growth and goals. The concept of detachment, rooted in Stoic philosophy, is a challenging reality to embrace, as Epicurus famously advocated for detachment from uncontrollable elements such as her feelings, responses, and the outcomes of your interactions. The paradox here is straightforward but powerful. The more you care about winning her over, the less she will care about you. You have no control over how she sees you, and when you try to change it, you come across as insecure, needy, and desperate for her acceptance. When you're always trying to impress her by checking in with her or going out of your way to make her happy, you're essentially telling her, I need you to feel good about myself. This puts her in a position of power, making her the one in control of the dynamic rather than being passive. Women are able to detect this immediately, and it can be a significant turn-off. When you adopt a detached, stoic mindset, you convey a completely different message. I'm concentrating on my own journey. I don't need you, but I do value you. This self-assurance is captivating. Therefore, it's critical to define what detachment actually entails. You are not ignoring her or being cold. Detachment is different. Most people, motivated by the need for approval, acceptance, and constant reassurance, rarely adopt this type of mindset. However, when you detach from this need, you become free and stop trying to control her feelings or the outcome of the relationship. Instead, you're just enjoying the moment and concentrating on your own development and goals. You're not basing your self-worth on her validation. You care, but you're not dependent on her response to feel positive about yourself. When you stop trying to control her response and focus on your own journey, you gain a sense of freedom and inner peace. You transform into a man who remains unaffected by external validation, a man who exudes confidence in his own value, and this type of man stands out due to his uniqueness. Epicurus said it best: freedom is the only worthy goal in life. We achieve it by disregarding things beyond our control. When you adopt this stoic approach, you naturally become more attractive because you're no longer chasing her approval. Instead, you're living your life fully and inviting her to join you, not because you need her, but because you want her. Remember, the more you concentrate on your personal development, the stronger your attraction to her will be. It's a challenging truth to accept, but it's a reality that can transform your relationships. Detachment isn't about being distant or playing games. It's about developing a mindset of self-assurance that you know your own value without needing constant validation. Give up the impulse to win her approval and adopt a detached, stoic outlook. In summary, when you base your self-worth on your own objectives and path, let her find you. The man who genuinely deserves pursuit is the one who doesn't require it. Results on asking a woman for confirmation. Without realizing it, the more you strive to gain her approval through praises, frequent messages, or early engagements, the more insecure you appear. The more you indicate insecurity with declarations of love, quiet confidence and self-assurance qualities, rooted in Stoic philosophy, attract women. When you prioritize your time, focus on your path, and act more than talk, you create an irresistible magnetic presence. Think back on your previous relationships. How many times did you find yourself going above and beyond to get her approval or altering your plans to suit hers? Think about how a Stoic approach could have changed those circumstances by embracing patience, appreciating your own time, and practicing detachment. Instead of relying on too many compliments, you transform the dynamic and become the man who attracts attention due to his inner strength and confidence. Show your interest by being there and acting consistently. Understand the value of managing your time and prioritizing your objectives, as these activities inherently convey independence and self-respect. Finally, don't undervalue the power of patience and stillness. Give her space to ponder about you and fight the need to fill every moment with words. Adopt the mindset of detachment. Let go of the need for her continual affirmation and have faith that she will reach out if she is truly interested. If you found value in today's video, please remember to like it, as it greatly aids in the channel's growth. This type of composed, serene presence is uncommon and will make you stand out. Please leave a comment below with your comments and any anecdotes or insights you may have. Have you previously engaged in these validation-seeking behaviors? Finally, what adjustments do you intend to make going forward? View the suggested videos on the screen for additional information that will improve your relationships and personal development. I sincerely appreciate your support and thank you for watching. Click on them now, and I'll see you in the next one.